Just to give you a bit of a context as to what I'm about to present, I've been in the HR sector for over 20 years, almost 25 years. I've worked for global companies, and it doesn't matter where I go. What I found is everybody talks about talent and the issues with hiring the right people for the organization. Everybody talks about shortage of skills, and everybody says, you know what, we have done everything we could. We just can't find anybody for the position. So I tried to tackle that way back prior to 2019. It was all done manually. But in 2019, I started thinking about December 2019, how can we automate the process so it's a little bit easier? But truthfully, up until now, the technology didn't exist for me to do it. Now, what I did for the presentation, you're going to see it. So I used a Copilot for a lot of the deep research and the prompt creation. I used Lovable to create the website, and I also used Canva to do the presentation that you're about to see with the screenshots. Happy to answer any questions, but just to give it a little bit more context, up until I started this course, I don't know if I was telling Chris this on Friday. I'm not sure if it was out of laziness, compliance, or fear, or whatever it was, or just lack of technology. I didn't know how to approach this. But taking this course, truthfully, it just opened my eyes to a lot of opportunities. And this is just one of the many that I'm going to hopefully push forward. So on that note, I'm going to start the presentation. So bear with me as I share the screen here. And hopefully you're all able to see it. I'm going to go into the presentation mode. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, awesome. So now, please do keep in mind some of the limitations you're going to see between the presentation, the text that's used, and what I created on Lovable. The text and the fonts are a little bit different, and that's my shortfalling. I guess I just didn't know how to do it properly. I tried a number of times and I failed. But so the company is called Talent Now. And essentially what we are trying to do is predict the right hire now. And what I decided to do is really go deep into the Canadian market, Canadian AI hiring assistance. And you notice I said assistant for a purpose for small to mid-sized businesses. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you should see the predicting the right hire, what that means. Essentially, what I'm trying to do is explain to people that there is a right way of hiring the right individuals for the organization if you have the right data set to play around with. But what is more important here is we're going to be scraping all the biasing information from the data set. So when the tool set predicts the hireability of somebody in a percentage format, it is going to be based purely on skills and not race, gender, religion, sex, etc. So it's sexual orientation. So it's going to be purely based on skills. So what you see here is the home page on the right-hand side, and we try to also create it so it is accessible. So you'll notice that the coloring in the background, and I'll kind of walk you through those in a moment. The coloring, the fonts that are used, everything, we made sure that it is. So here's why it is accessible. What I learned is a lot of developers and programmers, I shouldn't say a lot, many deal with neurodivergent, they're neurodiverse. So we wanted to make sure that the website also speaks to the general public in case they are dealing with neurodiverse issues. I'm going to walk you through how it works. Sorry, I went too fast. So here's the hiring challenges quickly. Many Canadian small businesses face hiring challenges, including bias in the traditional processes and slow candidate screening. So what we are going to do with this is make the process faster so the growth and success of the businesses are not hindered. On the right-hand side, you see a screenshot that says hire smarter, faster, and more confidently. Essentially, we are giving the reasons why employers choose Talent Now. And at the bottom of the screen, you see built for small to mid-sized businesses, hiring teams, for hiring managers, for recruiters, and HR leaders. Going to the next screen, the talent now solution. So how does it work? On the right-hand side, basically the hiring manager or the HR department, whoever, they put the job description. Then what it does is it scrapes all the unnecessary BS that you're going to hear from a lot of businesses. You have to have a great communication skills. Well, if you are not defining what great communication skills is, why are we hiring based on that? So what we decided to do is take off anything that is not relevant to the position based on the skills, and they're going to type it in here. And on the bottom, they're going to click on Analyze my job description. After giving us consent, it scrapes all the unnecessary data. And then when they go to see example, they're going to put in the link, the LinkedIn profile PDF format, or a resume, or a LinkedIn URL address, and is able to then figure out whether or not this candidate meets the qualifications at what percentage. But here's the trick. The tool will never tell somebody to hire or not to hire. What they're going to do instead is give a percentage and says, here are all the strengths of the candidate. Here are the areas of development. And then it proposes a set of questions to the hiring managers to ask those questions during the interview process. So we are not just eliminating based on the data that the candidate has provided. They may have forgotten something, or they may not have been good at writing resumes. So we want to make sure we take that off the table as well. So the hiring managers are making an educated decision. Now, what is also important to note is when the set of questions are provided, it will also give the manager the ability to figure out whether or not they have the time to train up the candidates, the new hire, once they hire the person. So it's really an opportunity for them to say, yes, I love this person, I can train them, I want to bring them on board, or say, you know what, our organization just doesn't have the ability to train this candidate, so we are not going to be able to move forward with it. But we don't make that decision at Talent Now. The decision is made by the hiring managers. Now, quick sample as to what it looks like. Again, step by step for employers. They paste the job, they upload the resume, LinkedIn, and they see the score and the driver. So view interest percentage, success percentage, and explainability insights. So what interest percentage is, it will tell the hiring manager based on the data that has been provided by the candidate, how interested would they be in this position? And then what are the success rates based on their previous employment, the longevity of how long they have stayed in this organization, why they ended up leaving the company, etc. So we try to simplify it as much as we possibly could. Now, for the candidates. Now, we want to give the opportunity to the candidates as well, because a lot of candidates look at the job description and go, whoa, this is way too much for me. What we try to do is the candidate can paste the job description, they put in their resume or LinkedIn profile, get their consent, and then they get a result that says, hey, you're qualified for this position, but here are the areas that you need to focus on. Are you able to do it, essentially? Can you go do the course or get the certificate, etc.? Sorry, I see the chat popping up here. Apologies. Okay, hopefully I'm not go over time. Oh, sorry.
Keep going. I'm asking questions for later.
Oh, my apologies. Thank you. Sorry. So we're gonna basically tell them how successful they're going to be in the position if they have the right skills, so that way they can make an educated decision. Again, we are never telling them not to apply, but we want to make sure that their areas of development are highlighted for them to make them more successful in the position, and also prepare them for the interview as to what the hiring manager may ask them once they're through the process. Now, this is where I broke the system. When I went to multiple sources for deep research, what I learned is to predict somebody's success, there are multiple elements that are involved. And I'll show you on Copilot what I mean by that. But essentially, we wanted to make sure the tool is as ethical and compliant as it possibly could, governed by the best practices in the recruitment process. So humans in the loop, bias-aware assessments. We made sure that we put in the Ontario Disclosure Helper, explainability, see exactly what each candidate scored, the way they did, so they understand the purpose behind the tool, consent and privacy, and alternative assessments. So we also recommend as to what those assessments should be to make sure that we find the right candidate for the position. Key features, predictive analytics, so leveraging data insights to enhance hiring decisions and accuracy, explainability tools, and compliance features. Here's the pricing, and this is, in fact, the real pricing that I was able to get from the multiple AI tools. So the prices are actually real and what we are able to charge. And just to give you a bit of a context, I actually prepared a business case. If you want to go to a bank, what kind of loan we are going to be able to grab to get this up and running. And I did run this by a number of other organizations as well to make sure that it actually makes sense. So the pricing that you see here are in fact measured accurately. And now I have trademarked the Talent Now name. It is ready to go. I'm going to stop sharing here for one quick second because I'm sure you are going to want to see the backend work that I did as well. Again, it's not as attractive as Rob's, but thank you for bearing with me. So here's
Rob's
the
got a team of creatives propping him up.
yeah. Thank you. So here's a co-pilot. So I tried the presentation. I was not very happy with it, which is why I went to Canva. On the left-hand side, so this is the talent now, and it's going to take a lot of time to kind of upload it because it went for days of conducting research. Yeah, it's populating. So let me just go to the bottom. So yeah, it was fantastic. I did a gap limitations assessment using that. And I also tested that on other tools as well to make sure that it is actually real. The legal advisor piece was really fascinating. And this is where I broke the tool, because when we are looking at candidate assessments, both for businesses and candidates, there's so much to take into consideration
Yeah.
that I will need assistance with developers to put this all together. And because it's also regionalized.
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do is,
Armin,
yeah.
this is great. I want you to bring it to your conclusion so that we can get some questions in. We're right about at time.
Perfect. Awesome. So here's the tool at Lovable. So predicting this is what I created on Lovable. So how it works, you saw the samples of this. So it's all working. So to get started, what do they need to do? I created some frequently asked questions. We can go to for employers, analyze my job description for the candidates. So I'm going to move the screen. The pricing site, and again, they're all working. On the resources, I put some, I found guidelines, regulations, best practices, etc. And what is about now? Now, the last couple of pieces that I want to share with you. So you're going to notice that this is all going to be funneling into Scalable HR, which is my original company. So if they're unable to manage the site and they have further questions, they'll go into another company. So what I'm trying to do is, just like you, Chris, create an ecosystem for HR and talent acquisition and management to get this going. And here's my Canva presentation, which I did. So anyways, I'm going to stop sharing that and answer questions.
Oh man, I wish I could see your Canva presentation. You'll have to send it to me separately. I'd encourage you to tie all your assets together into somewhere you can share with the world as well. Really strong presentation, man. I got my mind going in a lot of different ways. I encourage you to look at some of the questions I asked on the chat. But before we get to those, anyone else got any feedback or questions for Armin?
Armin, yes, I know you from the Zoom recordings, and so I know that you're very sharp and good at asking questions already, but I'm curious, is this something that you plan to get up and off the ground?
I do. So I'm gonna Yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna share a bit of confidential information. So for me to make sure that this is actually something that makes sense, I ran it last Thursday by a couple of individuals, and they have thrown in their name to wanting to be part of the co-founding team, which is why I wanted to make sure that the data is as accurate as possible with the pricing, etc. And on Thursday, we were meeting with a development company because they saw it and they're like, we want in. So uh, I don't know. Honestly, yeah. So thanks. So I'm very excited, but at the same time, really scared.
That's
Man,
very cool. I
Thank
can
you.
see your face plastered all over the upgrade AI promo.
That's pretty
Thank you.
fancy that you know Armin from the recordings. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, really cool, mister. You know, like despite all your new capabilities and your new website and your new tools and stuff, the biggest change I'm noticing is the one that took place inside you from the beginning to the end, which you kind of referred to about just kind of not knowing exactly when to roll your sleeves up or where. And then you found these ideas from 2019 that you're able to bring back into your work, and like just the whole progression you have been on. It's really inspiring to me. So stoked.
Thank you, everyone. I wouldn't have been here without you guys. I really mean that. You opened up many, many doors for me. So thank you.